This is Full View. Thank you so much for staying with us. And to unpack issues of the investment summit, we have Maudi Lentsoane, the managing director of Lehumo Capital. Very good evening to you and welcome. Such an investment drive is unprecedented, isn't it?
I mean, it's unprecedented. To say that it's an understatement. I was there from this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, the mood is great. People are excited. Investors are coming. And I think Arabile put it very nicely there and said the strike is over.
Yes.
You know, there has been a strike over the past 10 years or 9 years. You know, investors were not coming into the party. You know, business was not keen to, commit their capital into a system or an environment which was just not conducive for them to do so. And you get a sense that all those things are now over and investments are coming in numbers. 290 billion rands raised in one day. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. You know, one of the catalysts for such a huge and massive and unprecedented investment drive to thrive is the state-owned enterprises. You know, you and I know that they've been mired in controversy in the corruption allegations and governance challenges. Are they ready to lay the ground for such an investment drive? I
think they're ready. I mean, I think the right work has been done. For example, the work that that has been done is the fact that we've had the management changes. We've had also the changes at the board level, and it is quite clear, even when you read from the Minister of Finance speech, that they're going to take decisive actions to make sure that the events that took place in the past couple of years never repeat themselves. Those corrupt activities, those people that were just corrupt, should never be allowed to really have a room within these state-owned enterprises. These are the organizations that need to be run properly. And some of them, where there's a need to sell, they need to sell and privatize some of those. Minister said reconfiguration of the whole shareholding structure in some of them, and he even argued that perhaps there's no compelling reason why we should actually own an SAA, for example, the loss-making SAA that continues to really burn cash year after year.
You know, for years, South Africa has been going through near economic inactivity and policy uncertainty. So what is it that the investors saw that enticed them to come invest in South Africa?
Look, I've said it a number of times that the best stimulus, one of the cheapest stimulus a country can ever really stimulate their own economy is the confidence.
Yes.
It's the cheapest. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to make sure that all your policies are correct. You run your country like a proper country.
Yeah.
Corrupt-free country. Investors will have confidence and they will come in and commit these large sums of money. The reason why we've not had these kind of investments is because the investors were simply not confident about the fact that their money will be safe and that they can commit such long-term capital into an economy which is so badly run, from SARS, from all these institutions which were captured. Now there's been an uncapturing of those important institutions, and we are seeing the confidence come in and these commitments being made.
You know, an interesting observation is that government plans to redirect 32.4 billion rand, allocating funds to faster spending programs like incentive for the clothing and textile industry. But ratings agency Fitch says it won't make a difference.
Look, I think Fitch, obviously one of the rating agencies that have downgraded us into a junk status. The two rating agencies, which is Fitch and S&P, historically they've been very negative towards South Africa. I think the more lenient one, the one that tends to look at a longer term view, it's Moody's. So I would not really dwell too much into the Fitch analysis. I personally think they were wrong to even take us into a junk status. I think South Africa was, yes, trading on a very thin line, but I think we never really went aggressively off the path.
Yeah.
So I think it was actually not a good move, and I think Moody's will prove them wrong. We're likely to, obviously, Moody's is also very concerned about the fact that the debt level is projected to get worse. But the debt level, the debt to GDP, it's a ratio of two figures, the GDP and the actual debt itself. So if you improve the bottom, which is the GDP, that ratio will improve. And I have confidence that with these commitments that we've seen, that GDP will improve. We will not be growing at 0.7% in the next couple of years.
you know, the president also called for more investment to start pouring into South Africa. So the potential investors, are they not going to use the ratings agencies' benchmark on South African economy? I mean, two of the big three investment agencies have a negative outlook on South Africa. Are they not going to use that maybe to make the decision on whether to come to South Africa to invest?
I doubt. I think rating agencies have a history. If you recall back in the US, the financial crisis, that they got completely wrong. They can also get this one wrong. And I feel that they are getting this one wrong, being too negative. At the time when we are at the turning point, we are at the critical point in our life as South Africans, and I think this is the turning point to bigger things.
Yes.
Today is the starting point, and I think a very powerful, strong foundation has been laid for better things to come.
All right, Maudi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Maudi Lentsoane, the Managing Director of Lehumo Capital, just giving us an overview of the investment summit which is currently going on in Sandton in Johannesburg. This is Full View on SABC News. We'll have more news.